Hi everyone. This year we're going to do Judges Orientation a little different. You will not be asked to come early this year, but rather just asked to watch this short video about what it means to be a judge for 4-H Achievement Days. And then you can come starting at 5 to grab supper, and judging will start at 5:30. So before we get started, first I would just like to say thank you for taking the time to judge our 4-Hers on the projects they've been working on throughout the year. Now, many of you are returning judges, so you know all of this, so maybe just a good refresher for you as we move into the new 4-H year. Please remember that exhibits are judged on their own merit. It is not a ranking system. So if you think that everybody deserves a blue ribbon, then everybody can get a blue ribbon. That being said, you're not going to give out all blue ribbons. I'm going to show you a document here that kind of breaks down what the different ribbons mean. So as you can see, a blue ribbon means the exhibit meets the standards and expectations of the project. The exhibit shows high quality work and leads little to no improvement. Excellent exhibit. So these are the ones that you give to those exhibits that you're like, this is amazing. This child clearly did this project and knows what they're talking about. A red ribbon meets most expectations and standards of the project. It shows high quality of work. However, there's some improvements can be made in either the workmanship, the design, or the expression of what was learned in the project, and it's still a good exhibit. A white ribbon is for those exhibits that meet few standards, and the exhibit can be improved in workmanship, design, or knowledge shared about the project. So those are the three different ribbons that you can award our 4-Hers as they come up and get judged by you. After judging closes at 7:30, we will have 30 minutes to place their ribbons or the Grand and Reserve ribbons. Now we ask that you as a judge stick around. So if you're done, if you're done judging, you're more than welcome to leave the arena, but we ask that you stay here until it's time to place your Grand and Reserve ribbons. Now our Grand Champion ribbons are those big purple rosettes that you see a lot of times at county fairs, and those are the top exhibit as determined by a category by the judge. Now not every category is going to have a Grand Champion. That's not a requirement. If you don't feel any of the projects are worthy of that, that is not something that has to be awarded. If you choose to, there's also a reserve champion, which is often given to the project that was in close contention with that grand champion, with that purple ribbon. And then honorable mentions. Honorable mentions are given to youth for their projects that are like, you know what, this is better than blue ribbon. Maybe they're the ones that are considered for grand champion, so considered for those purple ribbons, but didn't quite meet the requirements for that purple ribbon. So those are the different ribbons that will be given out at Achievement Days. Now, as we go through this process, please remember that the blue ribbons are on the exhibits that get sent to the state fair. So if you think that they're a good representation of what our Burleigh County youth are able to do and would be well received at the state fair, that's another thing to think about as you're determining if it should be a blue ribbon, a red ribbon, or a white ribbon. If the rules are not followed, several of you have specific rules in the state fair book. Maybe they, for instance, the photo needs to have the photo tag in a certain place. Horticulture has some exhibiting rules as well. If those rules are not followed, it is warranted to dock those youth a ribbon placing. If you're judging one of those categories, we'll certainly let you know what those areas are and provide additional training. All that information should be attached to this email. So when a 4-Her comes around to be judged by you, they will have a few things. They will have their 4-H project. So if I'm a 4-Her, I'm bringing my light up 4-H pin that I learned how to solder on, and I'm going to come and I'm going to have a conversation with you. So I may present my 4-H pin and show you that it turns on and flashes, and I'm going to talk about what I learned as I was building this Clover badge. Now, you as the judge are going to ask me questions. Also attached to this email are some sample questions that you may find yourself using to have that conversation with youth. But really, this should be a conversation about the project, what they learned, what they would like to work on in the future, maybe how they learned, where they got the information from, and anybody who helped them with the project. Now, getting help with a project is totally okay. What we want to make sure is that our 4-Hers are the ones who are doing the project. So mom, dad, grandpa, uncle aren't the ones welding the project, but rather there as a guiding tool. As a judge, you also have the opportunity to provide some great feedback. The areas that you are judging are picked for you because you are someone who has knowledge in that area. So use this also as an opportunity to conversate with the 4-Hers about how they can improve on their project for next year. Maybe this year I brought my flashy 4-H badge as an example of my soldering, and then, hey, you know what, next year make sure that you're not holding it on there too long so it doesn't burn through the solder, and tips and tricks on how you can do that. Because as much as this is the 4-Hers demonstrating what they've learned over the year, this is also a continuation of learning into future years. So that's what we have for static judging. If you have any questions about anything, please let us know. As I said, you can come as early as 5 on the night of static judging, and I will be here to answer questions and make sure you get some supper, and we will move from there. Please take a moment to review the information that is attached to this email, as there is some really great useful information for you. In addition to this email, you will also be receiving a judges packet, which will include the names of all of the 4-Hers that you will be judging. If any of those 4-Hers are family, close friends, and you do not feel comfortable judging, please let us know, and we will make sure that there's somebody else able to judge those exhibits. We try our best to make this a fun opportunity for kids, so please remember that these kids aren't perfectionists, or they aren't perfect, and you may have some little things that can be improved on. So take that into consideration as you are awarding ribbons, but also remember that not everybody needs a blue. If you have any further questions, please let us here at the office know. I can be reached via email at Amelia, AMELIA, .doll@ndsu.edu, or by phone at 221-6865. Thanks again for donating your time to the 4-H program. Have a good day, everyone.